Good evening and welcome. Tonight we're going to start reading the 2022 Night Sky Almanac. Here comes my cat. He's sitting in my lap and he's trying to figure out if he's getting up on the desk or not. That's why the camera was wiggling. Here he comes. Also, my thumb, which he bit, is a lot better. It still looks kind of gross, but it's better than it was. So anyway, he's like right here. Anyway, we're gonna start reading out of this tonight. This book was very kindly donated to me from my Amazon wish list. Alright, my cat just parkoured his way off the desk. But anyway, if you would like to donate a book to my channel, my Amazon wish list is down in the description box. No pressure. But this was one of the books that I was literally just about to buy, and I went into my wish list to buy it and saw it was gone and went like, someone got it already. Because all last year I did space-themed videos based on what was happening in the sky each month. And so this year I want to do like specifically what's happening this month in 2022. So let's get into it. There's a lot of cool stuff in the front of this book about space, and like there's a cool moon map and everything. So maybe one day we'll read about it and learn about some spacey stuff, like there's eclipses, what the northern lights are, things like that. Everything about the planets, and what have you. So let's start off with what's happening in January. So first, here's a little overview of the month. January can be the coldest month for many parts of North America, but if the skies are clear, it offers some of the best views of the starry sky. I should say this book is from Canada, and it's North America. The nights are long, the air is free of summertime humidity, and the sky is just waiting for you to bundle up and grab a pair of binoculars, or not, so you can take in the marvels of the winter sky. It's also time for one of the best meteor showers of the year, the quadrantids. Let's read a little more and look at this cool moon calendar. So this video is going to go up on Monday the 3rd, my time at least. So right now there's a new moon, I suppose. And that's what the moon will look like when this video goes live. Full moon's down here on the 17th of January. The month and the new year starts off with a waning crescent moon barely illuminated at roughly 2%, with the new moon falling on January 2nd. This is particularly good news as the quadrantid meteor shower peaks on the night of January 3rd to 4th, which is the night this video goes up. No moonlight means that faint meteors will be easier to see, even in light-polluted cities, though it's always best to head out to the darkest location you can. On January 4th, the crescent moon appears near Saturn very low in the southwest in the evening twilight. On the evening of January 5th, the moon sits south of Jupiter. Look for Mercury in the evening twilight during the first half of the month. It has its greatest elongation east of the sun on January 7th, and is within a binocular field of Saturn for about a week after that. Venus becomes visible in the morning twilight, beginning on January 15th, low on the eastern horizon. On January 17th, the full moon will sit between the constellations Cancer and Gemini. You can find it just below the twin head of Pollux. On January 29th, if you want to challenge yourself, get up early and look low toward the southern horizon, where you can find the crescent moon just below Mars, with Venus shining brightly nearby in the morning twilight. The moon hits perigee both on January 1st and January 30th. It will be at apogee on January 14th. So let's read about what we're going to see in the southern night sky. I'll read it first, And we'll look at this cool star map and point out everything it talks about. So, highlights of the southern sky. We start off with none other than the most prominent winter constellation, Orion the Hunter. When Orion is visible, the 7 brightest stars in the night sky are as well: Betelgeuse, Rigel, Aldebaran, Capella, Pollux, Procyon, and Sirius. The mythical hunter hangs high in the southern sky with what is probably one of the most prominent stars, Betelgeuse, at Orion's left shoulder. Betelgeuse is most remarkable for its reddish color. It is a red supergiant that is nearing the end of its life, in about 100,000 years or so, and it is massive. It's about 1,400 times larger and 4,000 times more luminous than our sun. Another prominent star in the constellation is Rigel, the bright right foot of Orion. You might also notice a particularly bright star east of the hunter's left foot. That would be Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky, and part of the constellation Canis Major, the Great Dog. Astronomers believe that many stars are part of multiple star systems. Many of those are binary stars, which are a pair of stars that orbit a common center of mass. Sirius just happens to be one of those stars. There's Sirius A, which is the bright one we see, and Sirius B, which is a small blue-white star that lies roughly 8.6 light years from Earth. Sirius B is hotter than Sirius A and smaller than the planet Earth. It was the first white dwarf star to be discovered. But Orion isn't the only favorite in the southern sky. There's also Gemini, the twins, which lies just to the left of Orion in the evening sky. The constellation's most prominent stars are Castor and Pollux, the heads of the mythological Greek twins. Auriga, the charioteer, is also prominent high in the southwest, just above Orion. The most notable star is Capella, which shines brightly as the 6th brightest star in the night sky. By mid-month, it lies almost directly overhead at the zenith. If you happen to have a small telescope and want a challenging object, you can look in the middle of the constellation and see the amazing Flaming Star Nebula, or IC 405. It is about 1,500 light years from Earth and 5 light years across. This nebula makes for an amazing photographic target. There's a picture of it up here. Isn't that amazing? Wow. Using binoculars to scan the winter Milky Way from Auriga to Perseus to Cassiopeia, you will discover several open clusters of stars, including the famous double cluster, NGC 884 and NGC 869. So let's check this out. So pointing out Orion, you can see right here, Orion. We have Betelgeuse, Rigel. We have Aldebaran up here. What else? Capella, where is Capella? Capella is in Auriga, that's right. Pollux in the twins, Gemini. Procyon's in the little dog. Sirius is in the big dog, the big, bright, beautiful star. And then it points out Canis Major, the great dog. You can really see how it looks like a dog here. See the little head. It's like there's its tail. That's cute. And Gemini, the twins. You can see why they're called that. There's Castor, there's Pollux. And Auriga, the charioteer. There's the big chariot. And, the Flaming Star Nebula is right in the middle of it. And then it says between Perseus and Cassiopeia. It's the night sky, everything's backwards. Perseus and Cassiopeia, there's the double cluster. There we go. I love the winter night sky. fall and winter are my favorite star-gazing times. But let's check out what's happening in the northern sky. Let's read it first. If we started off with Orion in the southern sky, then we should probably start off with none other than Ursa Major, the Great Bear, in the northern sky. Ursa Major lies in the northwest this month. The constellation is actually best known for its asterism, the Big Dipper. Though it looks like a group of 7 stars making up this prominent asterism, it's actually 8. If you look very carefully at the second star in the handle, you'll notice that it's actually 2 stars, Alcor and Mizar. According to legend, ancient Romans and the Arabs would use the pair as a visual acuity test. The Micmac First Nations see Mizar as the chickadee and Alcor as his cooking pot from the story of the Great Bear and the 7 Hunters. In January evenings, you can find the Big Dipper standing upright on its handle with the bowl pointing west. You know, this is the first astronomy book that's actually mentioned the Big Dipper. They've always mentioned that it's Ursa Major, it's a bear. They don't like to bring up the Big Dipper because I think it's like not the scientific name, you know, but I think it's cool that they mentioned it. The Big Dipper is a handy way to find the celestial due north, which is marked by Polaris, otherwise known as the North Star. Polaris is part of the constellation Ursa Minor, the Little Bear, and marks the end of the handle of the Little Dipper asterism, a smaller version of the Big Dipper. Using the Big Dipper as a guide, find the 2 stars at the top of the bowl, Merak to the right and Dubhe to the left. Trace a line from Merak to Dubhe and beyond, and you'll find Polaris. In the northern hemisphere, the North Star appears almost stationary in the night sky. In the sky night after night. There we go. Month after month. If you were to set up a camera pointing directly at Polaris, you'd notice the constellations moving around it as the night progresses. 2 of the most famous galaxies are Messier 81, Bode's galaxy, and Messier 82, the Cigar galaxy. M81 can be seen from dark sky sites through binoculars or a small telescope, and M82 is in the same field of view. There's good pictures of them. You can see why it's called the Cigar galaxy. The quadrantid meteor shower, which actually began on December 27th, 2021, peaks on the night of January 3rd to 4th. The quadrantids are one of the year's most active showers, with a ZHR of 120. The radiant, or the direction from which the meteors appear to originate, lies just beneath the star Alkaid, I believe, at the tail of Ursa Major. But of course you only need to look up to catch a few shooting stars. Let me know in the comments if you got a chance to see any meteors. I love meteor showers. Let's check this out. So we have the Big Bear right here, Ursa Major. You can see its big body. It's got a long tail and long legs. And here's the Dipper portion that we see. So the stars it points out are the double stars here, Alcor and Mizar, right there. And it points out Polaris, which is at the tail of the Little Bear, or the Little Dipper. And it says to find it, you look for Merak and Dubhe. You find the Big Dipper, the last 2 stars, Merak and Dubhe. You draw a line to Polaris up in the zenith. Or you can just look straight up if you're in the northern hemisphere and it's directly above you. Alright, so Messier M1, Messier 81 and Messier 82 are right in between the Bode's galaxy and the Cigar galaxy. And it says that the meteor shower appears to originate near Al Qaid right here. The tip of the bear, the tail of the bear, or the very edge of the handle of the pot. So that's going to be it for tonight. Maybe next month I'll dive into one of these earlier chapters that talks about other space things more in depth, like comets and meteors, or the moon. We'll see. But for tonight, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you found this video relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a very